Good morning, happy Monday, and welcome into SimWorld today, audio only version on this May 6th. We are through the early May Day holidays. I am Marsh, joined on this Monday, as I am every morning, every Monday morning by B-Ron. Good morning, B-Ron. How are you?
Hey Marsh, I'm doing good, man. It's good to be here with you on another marvelous Monday. Let's get into it, man. Yeah.
We had an active weekend of sports on the hardwood. We'll start there with some SWBA action in the order in which they received. Timberwolves stunning the Denver Nuggets 106-99 in their game one Western Conference semifinals in a series that feels like it might as well be the Western Conference Finals. Anthony Edwards arrives on the scene, 43 points, 17 to 29. Rudy Gobert has 13 boards, and Minnesota has stolen home court advantage from the Denver Nuggets and completely flipped the series already, B-Ron. It was a stunning game, but Anthony Edwards is doing Anthony Edwards things.
Hey, sorry, Marsh. The issues there, but no, this was a surprise to me, honestly. The man, these Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards, man, he's something else. He's a really good basketball player, coming in and stealing home court advantage from the Nuggets in game one like this. This is definitely going to give them an edge, and it gives me a little bit of hope because everybody was saying the Nuggets are the best team in the West, and it'll be Nuggets Celtics, and at least for right now, at least in game one anyway, there's some hope that that could possibly not happen. So I'm excited to see how it goes from here. But it's a big deal getting that home court advantage taken away from you if you're Denver.
Well, it's been a renaissance from Anthony Edwards in his third season, leading the number three seeded Timberwolves. Five playoff games so far. Obviously, Minnesota's 5-0. Only one game, if you remove that game two game against Phoenix, where he shot 25%. He's shot above 52% and scored at least 33 points in four games. He's shot above 40% in three of those four games from deep. He's been relentlessly attacking the basket. 11 free throws, 10 free throws, and then in his last three games, and then against Denver on Saturday, 6 for 6 from the line. We've been talking so much over the past 2 to 3 seasons, we being the collective SWBA fan media conglomerate,
Yeah.
about how the future of the league rests in international players, whether that's Jokic, Giannis, Luka, the technicality of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander being Canadian.
Yeah.
There's one man, and it's Anthony Edwards, who's poised to change that completely. He has been unstoppable, and it was a continuation of what Denver was unable to do, I thought, in the Lakers series, which was LeBron and Anthony Davis were constantly getting going inside the paint. LeBron in particular. That was not the case again, or excuse me, that continued to be the case in that game one, where the Wolves were just able to get inside. Anthony Edwards in particular, shot 22 non-three pointers in this game. He's just done everything that we would hope of him, and it has, as you mentioned, completely changed who we think could walk out of the Western Conference. So I'll ask this: do you still think that is the series over? I guess obviously it's not, but does it? Do you think now Minnesota's walking out of this series and advancing to the the Western Conference Finals?
I feel like this is a yes or no kind of question, and I hate these because we're only one game in. There's just so much that could happen. But for the sake of discussion, I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say yeah. We like having takes and important to give takes in situations, so I feel like I gotta give one here, and I feel like that with the momentum early on, I feel like can be enough to get you going to start things out. So getting a win like this on the road in Denver, when again all the talk is around, it's gonna be a Nugget Celtics finals. Uh, this could be what you need to get going. So I'm gonna say yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, B-Rum. I don't know. I don't know, and that's not typically a response that people look for in the media, but I
Mhm.
think there's pathways for both of them. If Anthony Edwards keeps doing this, then
Yeah.
then the Nuggets are going to have a problem. But this is a good matchup for both sides, truthfully. Jokic, paint bound center, wants to go up against smaller dudes. And then you're going up against Minnesota that can throw Rudy Gobert on him, who had a really nice night, plus 12, three
Mhm.
blocks. You can occasionally swap Karl Anthony Towns. You could throw Naz Reid, who had 7 of 11 shooting. You had huge nights from Minnesota's guys, Naz Reid in particular, and Karl Anthony Towns. That's going to be what decides this series is, can Jokic find ways to get rolling against this mammoth front court of the Timberwolves? And it's fascinating that just, 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, we were talking about how the league was going super small and that,
Yeah.
places for like Rudy Gobert was a playoff detriment because of his size and inability
Right.
on defense. And now the league is completely shifted. But I don't know. I find it hard to believe that Denver is just going to be done. But Minnesota has the framework for this one. Um,
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna walk all. I don't. It's not gonna be a sweet marsh. If
no.
anything, it goes to 6, 7 games.
hmm
Um, but again, for the sake of having a take, I'm gonna take the T Wolves in this one.
And I don't think you're far off for it. We also had a big game 7 last night, or yesterday. We got the nice matinee. I love a nice Sunday matinee game, Saturday too, a little 1 p.m. tip off. Orlando builds a huge 18-point first half lead. Cleveland comes storming back. They win it 106-94. Big night from Donovan Mitchell, 15 to 17 free throws, 39 points. That outshines a 38 piece from Paolo Banchero, who also took 18 free throws of his own. The right team feels like they're advancing here, B-Ron.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely feels that way. First off, I do want to give a shout out to Paolo Banchero. They asked a lot from him, throughout the series, and the future is really bright in
hmm
terms of young players in the SWBA, and Banchero is another one who I think is going to, potentially lift the Magic to higher places. They
hmm
made it to the playoffs with him producing the way he did. You mentioned 38 points, 18 free throws in the game. He was 42 minutes too. So he
hmm
did a lot for them in this game. But again, Cavs, Donovan Mitchell, he played 45 minutes, so both of them played a ton in this game. And this is where you need your stars in the playoffs to shine bright, though. And Cavs did it. They got more help for around Mitchell than Banchero did. And that's just kind of what I think what made the difference in this one.
Well, this was the fatal flaw for Orlando. We talk about flaws. They couldn't have any shooting, or they didn't have any shooting all season. And Franz Wagner, 1 of 15, 0 of 5 from deep. He had a really rough night. Jalen Suggs, 2 of 10, 2 of 13 overall. This is a young team. And Paolo is most certainly, now he struggled in the second half from the floor, ended up 10 of 28 overall. But this is why guys like Paul George, Klay Thompson keep getting linked to the Magic because they need shooting.
Hmm.
But this was, I say this was the right result because this is what you'd expect from Orlando. They were a young team. They were phenomenal at home. They really struggled on the road, 18 and 23 this season away from Orlando. And so this is what you would expect. And Cleveland just has more guys with more experience, and the most notable was Donovan Mitchell. Now, I will say this game, I thought in the second half was particularly with Paolo and Donovan Mitchell was exceptionally boring. I mean, you're never going to get a 106-94 game isn't technically going to be all that exciting. Like we got a low scoring, close, exciting game on Saturday. This was not because it was Paolo going to the line, and then it was Donovan Mitchell going to the line, and then it was
Hmm.
Darius Garland going to the line, and then Karis LeVert was drawing a foul and and it was just the most anticlimactic run. Now, if you're Cleveland, that's the right way to go out because you don't allow the opposite side to get going, and every
Right.
time Orlando got within 7, they got within 8. Well, the Cavs would go to the free throw line, push it back to 10, and here we are. Um, but I thought it was just a boring game to watch at the end. But again, the right team won, and it's probably not going to matter because the Celtics are probably going to dispose of them in relatively short order.
Yeah, I think that the Celtics will have the easier time here in their matchup with with the Cavs here. Look, it'll be easier than the last game we talked about, the Nuggets and T-Wolves series. I think it'll be a much easier time for the Celtics to go forward.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up here in real time, but so the one name that I think could be interesting is one Max Strus, and I don't have his stats directly from last season because I wanted to see what he could do, what he did against Boston in that series. But all I can find on quick short-term notice is his averages. But um, yes, I don't know. You look at this roster, you say, okay, especially if Jared Allen isn't healthy,
Hmm.
we're gonna trust some combination of Garland, Mitchell, Strus, and Okoro to guard Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jason Tatum, and Jaylen Brown. I struggle to see that that's going to be an effective quartet to go up against Boston. So Boston's been rested. That game one is, geez, I guess I don't know when that game one is. Do you have that off the top of your head?
I think they play Monday, and the Pacers series
Pacers play
starts.
tomorrow or today,
Yes.
excuse me,
Okay,
Monday.
Pacers play Monday, so their series is Tuesday, I believe. I think they start
Yep,
Tuesday.
you are correct. Game one is Tuesday at 7, and the Mavericks Thunder game one is also Tuesday 9:30. I will say this as we approach the conference semifinals. This is my favorite part of the SWBA season. Conference finals and NBA finals, obviously. Yep, there's a lot going on, but you're you get 2 games a night pretty much every night. I mean, I'm looking at our calendar right now, and through Friday, we only have one day. It's Wednesday where we're only going to get one game. And then Saturday, we get a 3:30, 8:30, and then we get a 3:30, 8 o'clock on Sunday. I mean, it is the best time of the SWBA calendar because you get so many games.
Yep.
These, like in the West, particularly, I think Dallas is kind of like a little well below those top three, but you're getting 3 teams that could win a championship in the Thunder, and the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. It's just constantly great basketball at this point of the season, and I absolutely love it, B-Ron.
Yeah, this is what playoff time is all about. You're gonna get your exciting matchups. You're gonna get, and again, they're playing, every couple of days here, so you're always gonna have something to watch and look forward to,
Hmm.
which is nice if you're a basketball fan this time of year.
We are spoiled. Let's head to SWU where tonight is the national championship game. Miami taking on UConn. UConn trying to get the repeat title. Miami trying to snag what wouldn't be stunning based off their production. It'd be stunning off of maybe the legacy ranking of the program, but looking for a national championship of their own. What have been your takeaways so far here of both the semifinals and now the matchup in the national championship game?
So I'm not too surprised to see both of these teams make it here. I had a
Hmm.
feeling they would. It was just going to be how they were going to do it. And Miami, they did it kind of the same way we've seen them play throughout the course of the postseason between the conference tournament and now basketball bedlam. Their offense has been extremely good. Jermaine McLemore, 31 points and 15 rebounds.
Yeah.
That's insane. And they did it over Creighton. I'm not surprised to see that happen. And then for Connecticut on the other side of things, they beat Kansas 92-70.
Hmm.
And it was Alex Car
Caravan.
Caravan. Okay, it's
Hmm.
Caravan. He had a big day in that one too. So both of these teams have good offense offensive players, and offense in general are both really good for both these teams. So I'm kind of expecting it to be a higher scoring affair. I kind of alluded to it, social media saying how I want to see one of those classic maybe double triple overtime game that you would see
Hmm.
from I think I forget who had that game years ago off the top of my head, but you know what I'm talking about when I allude to it.
Yep. Yeah. Look, I think that this is I've already recorded my podcast here for 2, so I don't want to spoil too much of that. But
Of course not.
um this I think you're right in that these are the two teams that we should have gotten from the onset. We had some good runs. You could throw Kentucky in there, as a team that maybe we would have liked to see. But these have been the two best teams in some capacity all season. Now, UConn's been at the top of the rankings pretty much all year. Miami had to really work their way to get that respect to be up there, but this is what we would have expected. And the arrival of Jermaine McLemore, I think, has been stunning. I think it's going to be a huge matchup between McLemore and Klingon that I think ultimately decides this game. But credit to UConn for making it back to a national championship.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do,
Nope.
especially with so much turnover that they had on that roster. This is a really great basketball team. I think the interesting twist will be what do we get out for Reed Redmond if he has a big night. I think that could impact this one.
And
He had
Dominic Bianco
13.
as well.
Yep, exactly. Yep, the Bianco Redmond matchup. If one of them can slow down the other, I think that could serve or could decide this one. 13 from Redmond in that Kansas law win, and then 17 from Bianco against Creighton. All right,
Yeah,
real quick, go ahead, go for it.
I
Finish
was
it
gonna
out.
say, and who knows? Next season in SimWorld, you could be one of these new SimWorld prep players coming in and helping out both these teams make it to a national championship. Make it back to a
Exactly.
second one, a third one, perhaps. Who knows, man?
Exactly. Lot on the line. All right, we got a quick, you ready for a quick Saturday recap, wrap up, B-Ron?
Yeah, yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
All right, so three games, nothing too crazy on the docket, but some good ones. The North takes down Middle East 71-63. Alex Rodriguez, how about it? 25 points, 3 of 8 shooting from deep, powering the North. Interestingly enough, Alex Rodriguez played to even, zero plus minus in this one. It was Donovan Bird Culver, 14 points in 16 minutes off the bench that really powered the North.
Yeah. Do you mind taking the next one too?
You got it. No problem. SimWorld Atlantis takes down Philadelphia, a stunner. 77-61, 24 points from Monte Parson. Not enough because it's 27, 8, and 3 from Bjarni Johnson. They have been cooking. ATS Atlantis now 19 wins on the season. Do not sleep on Coach Kusa and crew.
No, absolutely not. And look, the reigning Trays welcomed Cascadia to town, and Cascadia got the win, stayed hot, and they got the 20 wins on the season over the reigning Trays. And Jason Holbrook continuing to shine, double in this one, 16 and 10. Tyree Wells, also driving machine, and Kevon Jackson also doing their things as well. Cascadia and Coach Barry coming in, wasting no time getting these kids to rebound from the Isaiah Pope scandal situation that saw him leave the team, and now Coach Barry taking over, doing a really good job in his role.
Indeed, he is. Cascadia getting to win number 20. They draw even in the win margin with the originators and Philadelphia. All right, that's our show. We'll be back on Tuesday, recapping what should be an exciting day of SWBA playoffs here on this Monday night. Thank you, B-Rob, for joining us. Thank you for tuning in here on SimWorld TV, the only place you can see the game, be the game.